Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air. Hunter Biden's federal gun case late today, now in the hands of the jury. What we've learned, the major fire in Miami, the rescues, and news just in tonight of an arrest. We're tracking severe weather, extreme heat. It's moving east. And a breaking headline from China at this hour reports 4 American teachers have been stabbed. What we've learned so far. First tonight, Hunter Biden's federal gun case. The jury now deliberating his fate. Hunter Biden choosing not to take the stand. Members of his family, including the First Lady, in that courthouse. The prosecution aware of that during closing arguments and what the prosecutor told the jury about the family sitting in those front rows. Also breaking tonight, Donald Trump's interview with a New York probation officer. That interview required of all convicted felons. What that probation officer will now do with the judge set to sentence Trump in weeks. The chilling new images here from inside the Israeli operation to rescue 4 hostages in Gaza. The moment soldiers find 3 of them coming under fire while getting them out. Israeli special forces posing as Palestinian refugees, saying we got the diamonds when they found the hostages. You'll see these harrowing images from the inside. Here in the U.S. at this hour, the severe weather threat and the record heat across multiple states. Then all of this heading east. And tonight, Florida now bracing for potential flooding, up to 20 inches of rain. Also, the massive fire near downtown Miami, the city's largest fire in 25 years, rescuing more than 40 people, and the worker in the building found shot nearby. Tonight, there's news coming in on a suspect. The shocking damage to a passenger jet struck by a hailstorm coming into land. Part of the plane's nose ripped away, the cockpit windows shattered. The dramatic video, spectators at a rodeo when a bull jumps the barrier, heading right for spectators, flipping a woman into the air. And America Strong tonight, the moment on the Antiques Roadshow, the woman who has held on to a cherished baseball bat for years and what it's worth now.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. It is great to start another week with all of you at home. We have several breaking headlines tonight. Former President Trump's meeting with a probation officer after his conviction. That news coming in from China reports 4 American teachers have been stabbed there. But we do begin tonight with Hunter Biden's federal gun trial. Late this afternoon, the case going to the jury. The president's son facing 3 felony counts. Hunter Biden and his wife arriving for closing arguments. Many members of the Biden family were there, filling the front rows, including First Lady Jill Biden in that courtroom, showing up every day but one. The prosecution aware of that image right before the jury, the family sitting there, the First Lady supporting her son, and the prosecutor told the jury today that does not matter. ABC's Terry Moran leading us off at the courthouse tonight.
Late today, the jury getting the case in Hunter Biden's trial. 6 men and 6 women will decide the fate of the president's son, who is facing 3 felony gun charges. As closing arguments began, Hunter Biden's friends and family packed into the first 3 rows of the courtroom, the First Lady attending the trial nearly every day. Prosecutor Leo Wise pointed them out. You may recognize some of them from the news or from the community, he told the jury. None of that matters, adding, no one is above the law. Prosecutors argued that Hunter Biden knew he was using drugs when he claimed to be drug-free on this federal background check form when he purchased a Colt handgun in 2018. They pointed to Hunter's own words about his addiction in his memoir, Beautiful Things.
I used my superpower, finding crack anytime, anywhere.
And the government pointed to hundreds of texts, including some Hunter sent to then-girlfriend Hallie Biden, his brother Beau's widow, in the 2 days after buying the gun, describing waiting for a dealer and sleeping on a car, smoking crack. There's my truth. Prosecutors told the jury to take the defendant's word for it. That's his truth. But defense attorney Abby Lowell argued no one saw Hunter Biden use drugs in the days surrounding the purchase of the gun. There was no actual witness, Lowell said, saying prosecutors don't have proof. And Hunter Biden's defense attorney also lasered in on the women in his life who testified about his drug use, pointing out that his ex-wife, they divorced in 2015, had no direct knowledge of the facts in this case, and that Hallie Biden got an immunity deal from prosecutors to testify. Lowell also railed against the prosecution's questioning of Hunter's daughter Naomi, calling their cross-examination of her extraordinarily cruel. It's time to end this case, he concluded.
Jurors deliberated for just about an hour before heading home. They'll resume deliberations in the morning. Prosecutors say this is a simple case for them, but they will have to consider 3 separate charges and a defense that asked them to look not only at the prosecution's evidence of Hunter Biden's drug addictions, but at the evidence that he was trying to get clean and so wasn't lying when he bought that gun. David?
All right, Terry Moran, you'll be there again tomorrow. Terry, thank you. Meanwhile, tonight, former President Donald Trump's interview with a New York probation officer late today, required of all convicted felons. The officer will now write a report to the judge who will sentence Trump in just weeks. Here's our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, former President Donald Trump taking his next step as a convicted criminal, meeting for the first time with a probation officer before he's sentenced next month. The purpose of this meeting, which was conducted remotely, Trump at his Mar-a-Lago estate, is to help the officer prepare a report with a sentencing recommendation for Judge Juan Merchan. Trump was found guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records to cover up a hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels. He has attacked the verdict and the judge over and over.
I just went through a rigged trial in New York with a highly conflicted, and I mean highly conflicted, judge, where there was no crime. It was made up, fabricated stuff.
No word on what Trump told the probation officer today, but her report to the judge must include Trump's own description of his crime, whether he accepts responsibility, and anything he wants to say about why he did it. Unlike most convicts, Trump was allowed to have an attorney with him for today's interview, which is generally intended to provide the judge with a more rounded picture of the person about to be sentenced, including their personal, financial, and professional history. We're told this interview lasted just under a half hour. Judge Merchan already knows plenty about Donald Trump, whom he will sentence July 11th, just 1 month from tomorrow. David?
Aaron Katursky tonight. Aaron, thank you. We are seeing the harrowing images for the first time here tonight from inside Gaza, the Israeli raid to rescue 4 hostages held by Hamas. Those Israeli special forces saying, we got the diamonds when they found the hostages. One of those hostages freed, their father had died just hours before, never seeing his son come home. ABC's Soufi Burridge in Israel tonight.
In a hellish gun battle, this is the moment Israeli commandos stormed a residential building in Gaza in broad daylight. Breaching an apartment, finding those 3 male hostages. Shlomi Ziv on that bed, holding up his arms, shouting, look, look, they're here. The other 2 nearby. You see sheer terror in their faces, then shouting their names, Almog, Andrei. And a sudden explosion, frightening the hostages. An Israeli soldier telling them, everything's all right, we've come to rescue you, be calm. Then the dangerous escape, with bullets flying around them. You see 2 of the hostages running for their lives. Tonight, sources telling ABC News leading up to the raid, some Israeli special forces were disguised as Palestinian refugees looking for a place to live, lying in wait in position before they were given the go command Saturday morning. The IDF saying it launched airstrikes after its troops came under fire, those strikes taking a terrible toll. The Hamas-run health ministry saying at least 270 Palestinians were killed, but Israel disputing that, saying about 100 were killed. Munira, who lives nearby, pleading for peace.
We have hearts. We are a human being. We want peace to be all over the area.
The Israeli call sign when the hostages were freed, we got the diamonds. Soldiers then escorting them onto a chopper with a high five before they were flown out of Gaza. The IDF also rescuing 26-year-old Noah Agamani from a separate apartment. You'll remember this video that shocked the world, showing Noah screaming, taken by terrorists on a motorcycle. Today, back in the arms of her dad, each relative cherishing the hugs after 8 months of agony for loved ones they feared they might never see again. Almog Mirjan's family almost in disbelief. Tragically, his father dying just hours before he was freed. A relative kissing the 22-year-old's head. And this from his mum.
Yesterday was my birthday, and my wish came true. I haven't stopped smiling since.
But she also told us there must be a deal with Hamas to get the other hostages out.
I slept all night with a smile. What a big relief. That's what I want to happen for all the families of the hostages.
David, Secretary Blinken meeting